what's up, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be me reacting to your period horror stories for the 5th time. This is the part 5 of the series that I do every single month on my channel. I will link parts 1, 2, 3, and 4 down below for you guys to check out if you want to watch them in chronological order, and if you do want to do that, then go and watch those and then come back to this one. So a few weeks ago for the post for January, I put one of these posts on my community tab every single month for you guys to leave your period horror stories. I posted, hey guys, happy new year and happy January. Here's the post for you guys to leave any of your crazy, embarrassing, insane, and or funny period horror stories for me to react to in a part 5 of the series on my channel where I react to your period horror stories. As you guys know, I'm doing one of these every month, so this is the post for January. I will be putting the post for February, for part 6, up on February 1st. It'll be on my community tab, and I always put the post on the 1st of the month that the video is going to go up. So yeah, I really don't want to talk anymore. I want to react to your period horror stories for the part 5 of this reacting to your period horror stories series. So let's get into the video. So I have my computer right here as always because I'm on my community tab posts, and I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just reading them off of the order that they are on my community tab. And if I do not get to everyone's, that is just because I do not want this video to be insanely long. But if I do not get to yours, definitely make sure to submit it in the next post for the next part of the series that I'm doing, when that goes out on February 1st. Anyway, let's get into the first period horror story. My third period horror story is like this. I was sitting on my bed when I felt a very sharp pain on my right side near my appendix. So my mom got me in the car and we went to the emergency room. A few hours later, we were in a room and it turned out to be very painful period cramps, so we went home and took medicine. I had my appendix out when I was 10 years old, so 3 years before I got my first period. I feel like I'm so lucky because I will never have to worry, if it's my appendix, I'll always know that it's a bad period cramp. People say that cramps aren't bad on your period, but I've heard so many horror stories of people who literally think it's their appendix rupturing because it's such bad pain. It was picture day at school, so I decided to wear white jeans and a light purple shirt. I know where this is going. About halfway through the day, I felt it. I wasn't supposed to start my period for about another week, so I raised my hand and asked if I could use the bathroom. When I was in there, I realized that I leaked through my underwear and it barely got on my jeans. Guess what? 10 minutes later, we had to get our pictures taken. I had nothing to cover up the blood, so I went to the nurse, asked for a new pair of pants. I have extremely long legs, so the pants were basically up to my shins, and I had to get my picture taken in those jeans. Oh my god, I am so sorry that that happened. As someone who got their period during the pandemic and has never had to deal with having a period at school, I am sincerely so sorry for every single person out there who has gotten their period in the middle of a school event and has to go through a period horror story like this. I was shopping for pads and a boy in my class walked past me carrying them to the shopping cart. I've recently been having this strange feeling that my period might be coming, but I wasn't too sure since my last one ended about 2 weeks ago. Anyways, I was going to my grandma's house like I do every week, and a few minutes after I arrived there, I felt wet. I didn't think it was my period, but when I went to the washroom and checked, it was blood. I freaked out since I didn't have any pads with me and wasn't wearing any underwear. The only good thing was that I was wearing black pants. After a bit of panicking, I got toilet paper and somehow kept it in the area and had to spend the rest of the day like that. I was so anxious about staining my grandma's white couch, but luckily I didn't end up doing that. When I finally got home after 5 hours or something, I wore an actual pad. I can just imagine sitting on someone's white couch for while you're only wearing toilet paper between your legs. I don't think I would be able to survive that. Honestly, always trust your intuition when it comes to thinking that you might be getting your period soon if you want to avoid a period horror story. It was Halloween, pretty ironic. I had started my period the day before. I went over to my friend's house to do trick-or-treating and slept over. I already felt so nauseous, so I had told my friends that was why I was so groggy and sick. I made sure when I went to bed, because I had to sleep in her bed with her, that I put my blanket underneath me so I don't leak. I woke up the day after Halloween. It was the day after my flow was the heaviest, and I was too scared to change my pad the night before because the bathroom was connected to my friend's room and her sister's. So I got up the next morning. I was paranoid I had leaked, but I checked briefly and nothing had leaked. I go downstairs and eat my breakfast. When I get back upstairs and everyone was getting dressed, I looked down. I kid you not, there was blood all over my PJ pants. It wasn't just a small spot, but instead a giant stain going fully down my leg. I wrapped my blanket around me and got changed. No one realized, luckily. I never told her, and I got my mom to wash them afterwards. My question is, I guess it was the blanket, but how did you not stain the blanket? So I was camping out in the wild somewhere and I went to the outdoor bathroom, and to my utter horror, I saw it wearing white sweatpants. What is up with you guys wearing white jeans and white sweatpants? You'd think that if you've watched my series for a while, you would learn. Don't wear white sweatpants or white jeans until a couple days after your period ends if you want to be really super safe. I was like, what on earth do I do? Because I was all alone and didn't bring anything with me. So I decided to just go and find my mom and tell her about it. She was so helpful, and now we have a stronger bond than ever before. When we got home, she made me a red velvet cake. That's exactly what my mom did the morning after I got my first period. Oh my god, that's so cute though, like with you and your mom. But like, honestly, I don't think I could handle having a period like going camping. Like, I am so sorry for anyone who has had to deal with their period. Like, not necessarily a period horror story, but my last period I was sick and had a cough, so whenever I sneezed, you know what happened. Oh, trust me, I totally know what happened. This was back in May, so around my 6th period. It was 4 days late, but I didn't think anything of it and thought it wouldn't come until the weekend. It was Wednesday. When we went outside at break time, I went to the toilet and it was just there. I spent the rest of the day at the nurse's office trying to get them to let me go home as I had nothing to use. Luckily, my friend had an extra pad, but she only had one and it was so thin, so I ended up having to put toilet paper on top of it. I always bring pads with me to school now, especially if it's close to starting or late. That's really smart. Like, I honestly feel like you need to have one bad period scare, like without having a pad on you, to make sure that you know that you should always have pads on you, like in the future. Okay, so it was my 2nd period and it was a pretty heavy one, and a couple days after it stopped, I took out the bathroom trash with all the used products. I have a feeling that I know where this is going. And it was night, so I was too scared to take it to the trash cans in the dark, so I left it there to take in the morning, and then I let my dog out to use the bathroom thinking nothing of it. I come back outside to let her in to see the trash bag ripped open with all my used products all over the backyard and porch. I was so embarrassed and cleaned up, but my whole family still saw, including my dad. I knew where that was going the second I heard like I was taking out the bathroom trash like with all the used products. That is so embarrassing. So I woke up one morning and my period had come and I was having really bad cramps, but I got up and got ready for school anyways. In my first period class, it hurt so bad I didn't even try to focus and just laid my head on my desk in pain. Then I asked to go to the bathroom and I felt a bit better, but I had to go back to class and it was still hurting really bad. I asked to go down to the office and my friend came with me, thank goodness, because otherwise I probably would have fainted in the hallway. Once I was down there, I laid on the floor in one of the empty rooms while waiting for my mom to pick me up. When she came to pick me up, I felt like I had to throw up as we were walking out to the building, but thought I could make it to the car. But I ended up throwing up right outside the front doors of the school. To make it even worse, my teacher had decided to take half my class outside to work that day, so half my class saw me throw up outside the school. Are you like okay? Like, oh my god, I've heard of people who have like really bad periods like that. That's really good that like your mom picked you up and everything. That sounds really embarrassing, but like also really horrifying. I really hope you like felt better after that. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. I was on vacation in Florida for fall break. I had gotten my period and my mom had planned a beach day. I had period swim bottoms. They had a built-in pad. Oh, that's smart. So I thought I would be fine. Keyword thought. Everything was fine. And I got in the ocean and was swimming around, but when I got out, I sat on the chair, but when I got up, blood was running down my leg. So I quickly wrapped my sarong around my waist and ran to the elevator and then to the condo. I was so embarrassed because my mom pointed it out and made a big scene, but everything was fine. I hopped in the shower and then put on a tampon. Lesson learned, always wear a tampon. So it was like running down your leg. So did you have to like walk up the sand on the beach like with blood just like all over your leg? That sounds horrifying. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. It was a normal Thursday and it was my 2nd day on my 3rd ever period. That is when it started to be more heavy and red. Because my period I had in September and November were light, I had a size 1 pad. So I'm the type of person who never goes to the bathroom unless I'm in my science or language arts class. So I was at the bus stop and felt literal blood clots come out of me. Oh my god, I'm so with you on that. Like, I always feel them come out of me. And it felt weird and it made me nervous and miserable. So by the time I got to school, I asked to use the bathroom and homeroom so I could change my pad. My one language arts teacher knows my mom, so she looked at me weird, but anyway, let's skip a couple classes. It was art class and I felt the feeling when the pad is full and lots of blood slipping out of you, and the girl who sits next to me in art asked if I was okay, and luckily I had math before that, so I told her, yeah, just we learned something new in math today. Anyway, after art was lunch, so we went to lunch and I had a pad in my sweatshirt sleeve. I ate lunch and I shifted around on the seat, still feeling blood slipping out, and then I saw there was blood on the seat and I freaked out, so I asked to use the bathroom and I tied my sweatshirt around my waist, went to the bathroom and saw I leaked obviously and ruined my favorite pair of underwear. Can we just take a moment before continuing with the story to just acknowledge the loss of this favorite pair of underwear? Back and was trying to act casual, and then the one teacher who helps at lunch and is a timeout person came over to the table that had the blood and cleaned it. I was at another table at the time, but I went over there and asked who sits there, and I said the girl's name, and so basically she asked if either of us were on our period. I said I was, and she did the usual, do you need to go to the nurse or are you good? I will never forget that because she cleaned it up in front of my crush. As someone who currently has like a really bad crush right now, I have a math teacher, male, that none of us really like, but one of his rules is he hates it when people ask to go to the bathroom. All other teachers let us go and we ask them most of the time because it's an all-girls school, and I guess they understand that sometimes we really need to go, but this teacher never let us go. So once I was in one of his classes and I was on my period, I felt a sudden shot of blood and I knew I had to get to the bathroom ASAP. I asked to go to the bathroom and big surprise, he said no. I asked again 5 minutes later and he said no again. I told him it was an emergency and he, in a really annoyed voice, said I needed to do question 1 and question 2 first and then I could go. Well, after 30 seconds I lied and said I did them and then he said I could go. Well, sadly the story doesn't end there. As I was leaving, I was getting my backpack with my supplies in it because I stupidly didn't wear anything with pockets. He asked me what I was doing bringing my backpack, and at this point I was becoming really annoyed and I told him it really wasn't his business what I brought with me to the bathroom. Good for you. Right when he was about to reply, someone saved me by asking a question about something else, so his attention was on then the other girl. When I was leaving the classroom, I started to wonder if I had made too big a deal about it and maybe I could have just waited. I stayed in the bathroom for like 20 minutes because I was so embarrassed. You did not make too big of a deal, honestly. Schools should let kids go to the bathroom, like especially at an all-girls school where they know like people have to deal with their periods. I'm really sorry that that happened to you. I was babysitting in the morning and I had a 4-hour gymnastics competition that night. I was playing with the kids when I felt it. I thought I was in the clear because I was only on day 19 of my cycle. To make things worse, I had light blue leggings on. I also didn't wear underwear that day since the leggings were tight and I wanted to wear a crop top. I bled through onto my sock. I was sitting on my knees and I didn't have any supplies. I was alone with an 18-month-old, so I just had to use toilet paper and kept waiting for the day to be over. When I was feeding the baby, I sneezed. A gush of blood came out and I leaked through again, but onto the family's fabric chair. The baby was eating, so I couldn't leave him alone. This house has security cameras in the main room, so who knows how much they saw. I cleaned the chair and looked for anything better than toilet paper. I found where the mom kept tampons. I had never used a tampon and I was terrified. I put the baby in the bathroom with me because I didn't want him to die, and we sat there for about an hour before I finally got the tampon in. At this point, I am covered in blood and I had nothing to cover it up with. When the mom got home, she saw and asked if I needed a change of clothes. I said no since I had my leotard in the car. I am so lucky my mom didn't notice. As soon as I got to gymnastics, I asked my friend for a pad and everything was good. I laugh about it now, but I was terrified in the moment. I think the funniest part of this is the baby was sitting there with you in the bathroom as you're trying to get the tampon in. If you keep babysitting that kid, like one day you should tell him what happened. I'm sorry, but like this might be one of the funniest, like craziest period horror stories I've heard so far. So it was one of my first periods and for some reason on about the 5th day I didn't wear a pad. Big mistake. So I was on a Zoom meeting for my drama club and I felt something. Again, me being dumb, I ignored it until much later, so I moved my leg and saw blood on my sock. What is with you guys getting blood on your sock? I was still on the call, camera on, so I had to change my room shorts, underwear, etc. while acting and playing games. I still don't know why I didn't just say I need to go to the bathroom, but here we are. So you're saying that under your Zoom camera you were changing your underwear? That honestly sounds like something I would do. I was at the store with my 2 guy friends and I was on my first period. I thought it ended, but I still wore a pad just in case. Good idea. I wanted to go to the bathroom to make sure everything was normal. I looked down and my pad was covered with blood. It looked like all my organs just fell out of me. Anyway, I took in my pad and I decided to double up since it was apparently so heavy. I pulled up my shorts, washed my hands, and met up with my 2 guy friends. We decided to walk around and I sat on the chair that we didn't pay for. I sat up and the chair was covered with blood. I looked at the chair and just fell to the ground. I passed out. In the middle of the store, they woke me up and we quickly left. We ended up going to CVS and they got me the biggest pads ever, Tylenol and chocolate. So yeah, it was pretty scary, but the 2 boys were cool about it and super sweet. To this day, we still laugh about it. Keep those guys in your life for life. Literally, that is so sweet. Like, could I meet guys like this? I really hope you're okay though, like with the whole The first day of 8th grade rolled around and my period had just ended, so I didn't wear anything. I got to school and everything seemed fine until my first class where I felt off, so I went to the bathroom. Turns out I had leaked all over my favorite jeans and ruined them, so my best friend gave me her hoodie to wrap around my waist for the rest of the day. I'm so sorry about those jeans, honestly. The first day of 8th grade, I'm so sorry that that happened to you. And the last period horror story that I'm going to read for part 5 of reacting to your period horror stories is this one, and it seems pretty long and interesting, so here we go. This is from my first period and all names in the story has been changed. So I went to the bathroom in the morning and saw blood. I'm 12, so I knew what it was. I was like, oh crap, yay, being very sarcastic. But that same day, me, my parents, and my younger sister had to go to a Christmas dinner at my dad's parents' house with all my cousins and aunts and uncles. So we get there and I'm fine. My parents are the only ones that know. So we have a good time. We played bingo, me and my cousins played Roblox, and we went sledding. I did sled into a bush, but moving on. I was about to go change my pad, but then indoor hide and seek starts. I hide behind a door. The seeker is the youngest Carla. Shortly after, my older guy cousin Jonathan finds me, but then I realize I need to change my pad because if I don't, Mother Nature is gonna ruin my grandparents' floor. I can't imagine playing hide and seek and you're just like sitting there and like any second the blood might drip onto your grandparents' floor. So I tell Jonathan, hey, I need to go to the bathroom, can you help me? He tells me when to go. Keep in mind I have a pad hidden up my sleeve that has been there since hide and seek started. So when Jonathan says go, I sprint like a track star those 7 feet to the bathroom. But then when I pull up my pants, the door opens. It was my 1 year younger cousin James, and it was so awkward because if he had seen, all my cousins would have known before my family went home, since he is such a snitch. So I hid behind the shower curtain for 10 more minutes before getting found. Moral of the story, lock the door when you're in the bathroom like I forgot. Honestly, this is one of like the worst period horror stories I've ever seen, just because like all the family being around and then like the baby cousin comes in and you had to hide behind the shower. I'm like really sorry that happened to you. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this part 5 of my reacting to your period horror stories series. As always, look out for my community tab post coming on February 1st. If you have a period horror story that you want to submit for part 6, which will be coming at the end of February, because as I said, I always put the post for you guys to submit your period horror stories on the 1st of the month, and then I usually upload one of these videos at the end of the month. So definitely make sure to stick around on my channel to see one of these coming every single month. Before you leave, please like this video, and if you made it to the end of this video, comment down below, don't wear white pants, because I think that what we need to take away from this video is that you should not be wearing white pants if you are someone who has a uterus and has periods. And also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to, as I said, see one of these videos coming every single month, and also just to see like all the other period videos that I make on my channel, because I make so much period content and I have so much period content planned to come out in the future. I have a whole period playlist on my channel, and I'm actually going to be making this a playlist on my channel, reacting to your period horror story series. And also, if you have not yet, go binge watch all parts of this series just to see me reacting to even more period horror stories than I did in this video. And yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it, and I love you guys. Bye!